What is a psychological algorithm? Algorithms are the various parts of the source code that make the software and the apps of your computer work. Psychological algorithms are the various parts of the source code that make the software and the apps of your psychological structure work. Your psychological structure and dynamics directly determine your beliefs, your purpose, your behaviors, your motivations, and your professional performance. Companies also have psychological structures. After all, they're made of people. The psychological structure and dynamics of organizations directly determine the organization's dynamics and the results it can achieve. The word currently used to express the idea of a psychological structure is mindset. Psychological algorithms are the source code of your mindset and your company's mindset. As a mind hacker, I can map the source code of psychological algorithms with precision, optimize it, or even rewrite it. In today's video, I'm going to show how rewriting a psychological algorithm of an organization can change the organization's mindset and change the results it can achieve in a positive way. I'm CAVALHER. Psychological algorithms impact your organization's results in a concrete way. My role as a mind hacker is to map these algorithms with precision and rewrite them in order to eliminate negative results and create positive results. My statements debunk two myths about the human psychological structure. Myth 1. Psychological things are abstract, subjective, and intangible. That's ignorance. The human psychological structure can be divided into two big structures: consciousness and the unconscious mind. Conscious things impact our lives in a concrete way. That's obvious. If you know how to do something, you can realize it. For instance, if you know how to solve complex problems, you can solve them and achieve positive results. If you know how to solve complex problems, congratulations! According to the World Economic Forum, this will be the most valued soft skill in 2020. However, unconscious things also impact our lives in a concrete way. Is this idea weird for you? Let me explain myself. Do you know everything about economics and stock markets? Perhaps you will answer no to that question. I would. If you do not know all about economics and stock markets, you are unconscious about economics and stock markets. The unconscious mind is everything you do not know. But if the stock market crashes overnight and the economy is disrupted, your unconsciousness about economics won't matter. You will face the consequences anyway. The unconscious mind is causing concrete situations in your organization every time you see repetition patterns and is unable to find the cause. You and your colleagues are stuck in negative patterns of behavior and do not know the cause. Negative patterns of behavior cause a low performance. Well, that is not good. The unconscious mind's impact on organizations is even worse when directors or managers are stuck in negative behavior patterns. Well, that's terrible. The company always attracts the same pattern of people and you do not know the cause. The same pattern of situations keep happening and you do not know the cause, even after effective technical analysis have been done. People have personal problems or health issues all the time. People quit their jobs all the time. Patterns of repetition are concrete manifestations of the unconscious mind in your company. If you want to know more about how the unconscious mind causes these patterns, watch this video here. Myth 2. All psychological things are subjective, therefore impossible to define, too imprecise, not an exact science. And if I can't understand the mechanisms of this system with precision, I can't interfere on them effectively. That's ignorance. This myth exists because people do not know how the system works. Evidently, things we don't know seem imprecise for us. In fact, consciousness and the unconscious mind work with the precision of an exact science. The level of precision is so high that Yuval Harari, author of the bestsellers *Sapiens* and *Homo Deus*, compares the human psychological structure to computers and its dynamics to algorithms. My role as a mind hacker is to map with precision the algorithms that are running in the unconscious mind. I create mind maps that are clearly comprehensible for you. That brings us directly to this video's topic. The exact map of consciousness and the unconscious mind bring to light the psychological algorithm, the source code that determines your mindset and your company's mindset, that determines directly the operation of your company and the results it can achieve. The code you can change in order to change these results. This is an example of a simple psychological algorithm mapped with precision for a company that hired the services of the School of Sense, of which I am co-founder. But wait a sec, that's too complex. Let's start from the beginning. When an organization hires a mind hacker, it brings a symptom to the table. The symptom is the concrete and final outcome of a psychological algorithm. The causes of this symptom are not yet known. In the company the School of Sense worked for, the symptom was a revenue substantial decrease. This is the symptom that most frequently make organizations hire the mind hacker. Through establishing a relationship with the company's people, analyzing the company's operation, and mind hacking techniques, I started to map the psychological algorithm. Already on the first day, what laid behind the symptom started to surface. The commercial director and the director of product development had a serious disagreement. They could in no way talk to each other. They were evidently disputing power and trying to impose their views. As it happens in most cases, the problem was not a technical one. Both directors possessed all the knowledge and all the technical abilities they needed to perform their jobs. The analysis they had delivered were unquestionable, but each one of them wanted their strategies to be adopted by the company. Obviously, if the commercial department can't agree with product development, sales will drop. The immediate outcome is going to be a revenue decrease. However, that situation was still a symptom. We needed to dive deeper. We kept on mapping and reached another ascertainment. The president of the organization was paralyzed. But wait, that's so very weird. The directors of two entire departments were unable to talk and to make their departments work together. And this caused a revenue decrease. And these directors were together with the president on a daily basis. How come did the president of the company not intervene? Of course the president was not unaware of the situation. He was dealing with this deadlock for months. He had attended several meetings. We are in the golden age of unproductive meetings. He had attended several unproductive meetings, considered the technical analysis and the standpoints of both directors. He had already talked to them separately and as a team. He had already tried many solutions, but the problem was still there and he could not find the cause. The cause was unconscious for him and the company. However, this situation was still a symptom. We needed to dive deeper. When we reached a deeper level, our analysis pinpointed the root of the problem. Before the School of Sense, the company had hired a management consulting firm. That firm made an extremely common mistake. That firm brought a new mindset. A mindset that was surely the best of all. A morally superior mindset. A mindset that would solve the problem of all organizations that would agree to use it. There is no such thing. Human beings are not the same. Companies are made of human beings, therefore are not the same. There will never ever be a method capable of solving the problem of everybody, of all organizations. When we try to find a standardized solution that solves the problems of everybody, believing that this solution is right for everybody, we are being moralistic. Standardized solutions create companies that are zero creative, zero innovative. If that's what you want, go for it. This management consulting firm installed a moralistic solution, the prohibition to feel anger. From that point on, people could no longer be angry at anyone. Hey boys, hey girls, anger is ugly. You can't be angry at your friends, okay? Let's go back to playing, okay? Well, let's stop treating adults like children. Is this the way things happen? Are you going to stop feeling anger just because someone told you to do that and you believed in that nonsense? I think not. Before the moralistic consulting firm, people were angry at each other. That's extremely normal. After the moralistic consulting firm, people obviously continued to feel anger. However, they would not admit that. After some time repressing themselves, they did not know they were angry. They were unconscious of their anger. They flattered themselves all the time, but the directors could not hold an honest conversation. The president, following the standardized methods of the moralistic consulting firm, forbade himself to feel anger and, as a consequence, felt confused and paralyzed. Anger dominated the relationships within the organization, but it was now operating behind the scenes. It was now unconscious. The World Economic Forum is right about the emotional intelligence being the 6th most wanted soft skill in high-performance professionals in 2020. An unconscious emotion can directly determine a revenue decrease in your company. Do you still think that the unconscious mind is too abstract, subjective, and imprecise? The unconscious mind can directly determine a revenue decrease in your company. The unconscious mind is a material thing. If you want to know more about the unconscious mind being a material thing, watch this video here. Up to this point, the psychological algorithms map was exact enough to allow us to interfere on it. At this point, we were ready to rewrite the source code of the algorithm. But before that, there's a remark I'd like to make. I do not rewrite the source code of psychological algorithms of people or organizations based on what I believe or my perspective about life, as most professionals do. Mind hacking is not a standardized solution. It would be pointless to switch the moralistic code of anger prohibition based on the moral beliefs of the consulting firm for a moralistic code based on the moral beliefs of CAVALHER. That would be 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. I rewrite the source code of the psychological algorithms of people and organizations based on the information given by their own unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is a type of intelligence, different from your conscious intelligence. The unconscious wants you to be unique, your company to be unique. I rewrite the code of your algorithm based on your unconscious mind in order to bring forth your uniqueness. This way, we avoid the interference of your ego or mine. Using techniques that go beyond this video's scope, I enabled the president to integrate his anger. He became conscious of the positive role anger had in his behavior and professional performance. The president immediately became strong and took action. He solved the problems the directors were causing, as well as many other problems that were going on, but remained hidden behind the director's disagreement. There is nothing magical or mystical here. I enable you to clearly comprehend the psychological algorithm. I enable you to take concrete actions that positively interfere on the source code of the psychological algorithm. Ultimately, I enable you to rewrite your own psychological algorithm consciously. You don't need to believe in me. Test it. Integrating anger in the source code of the president's psychological algorithm implied a natural change of behavior. He adopted an authoritarian style of leadership. According to my partner, Valéria Carvalho, co-founder of the School of Sense, this leadership style is temporarily required to solving problems in chaotic times. The president's new behavior completely reconfigured the company's structure and dynamics. The departments managed to coordinate their actions. Sales increased, and after a period of time relatively short, revenue increased. After we upgraded the psychological algorithm, the previous code became obsolete and was discarded by the unconscious mind. This algorithm is simple enough to be studied in one YouTube video and was used in the beginning of our work. As time went by, we mapped and rewrote deeper layers of the source code and achieved even greater results. Through precisely mapping and rewriting psychological algorithms, mind hacking allows you to access your unconscious mind and your companies for yourself firsthand. Therefore, my work does not require you to believe in me and works best if you test me all the time. You'll quickly detect and solve problems. You can learn now lessons that would take decades to learn. Mind hacking eliminates repetitive behaviors, situations, and the attraction of the same kind of people. Without repetitive patterns, the mind hacking builds new intelligences and new abilities. Without repetitive patterns, mind hacking makes room for original ideas, creative flow, and true innovation. Stop worrying about and trying to solve symptoms. You no longer need to suffer the consequences of problems with unknown causes, unconscious causes. Access your and your company's unconscious mind and find the causes. Rewrite the source code of your psychological algorithm, create a unique mindset, and achieve bigger results.